She's a successful speaker and author. She's wrote award-winning books about leadership, sales, and abandonment. Michelle Moore's story is anything but ordinary.
My mother was the cool mom, and all my friends loved my mother, and we were close.
Michelle Moore was an only child, and she was very close to her single mother. But when she was 14 years old, their relationship would become distant nearly overnight.
It was Halloween night, and my mother was acting weird, and she said, "Well, I want you to think about something." And I said, "Well, what is it?" And she said, "I want you to think about how much you like Clarksville, and how much you like being here with your friends." And I said, "What do you mean? Are you thinking we're going to move?" And she said, "Well, you wouldn't be Michelle anymore. You'd be somebody else. And you wouldn't finish high school."
Moore had grown into a responsible teenager who had big dreams. She couldn't imagine her mother was serious.
And so that was a Saturday night, and she was gone 2 days later.
Moore's mother left because she believed she was in trouble over receipts not adding up at work. Moore was sent to live with family who would verbally abuse her. She was later married to a loving man and started a family. But the pain of being abandoned seeped into every part of her life. She spent thousands of dollars in any available resource in search of her mother.
I finally found out about the church I go to now, and I started going, and I had friends that had been raised in the church and got to know more and more about the love of Jesus Christ. And I'll never forget the time I had a friend say to me, "If you never change, if you just stay who you are today, you're good enough, and that God will never leave you."
Moore decided she wanted to live in freedom. She prayed for God to help her be free from the pain of not knowing. And on one winter morning, her prayers were answered. Moore's phone rang. The woman on the other end was her mother. Moore was shocked. It had been nearly 2 decades since they last spoke. Her mother, who had apparently hid in Denver, Colorado, had lost her longtime job. She needed help. Moore flew her mother into town, but she found the woman had no interest in reestablishing their relationship. But Moore says God gave her what she desperately needed to know.
I just assumed we'd be best friends again. It didn't work out that way. But I wasn't angry. I was just thankful to know.
Despite the loss this wife and mother has experienced, even the things that used to remind her of what had been taken from her have filled her with hope, love, and forgiveness.
I know that it's normal and it's natural to miss what could be, but I also know that you can't let what could be get in the middle of what your blessings are for today.
For Bridges, I'm
so
Rachel
glad.
Markin.